What is up, guys? Hunter Ives here for my first take at a new podcast. Some of you may know me as Ives Baseball STL. Some of you might not care. Some of you may be hearing my voice for the first time, and quite honestly, that terrifies me. This is a St. Louis Cardinals baseball podcast. I cringe that I'm calling it a podcast. It's more of a voiceover that hopefully you listen to until the end. But for episode 1, we're going to be theming it and calling it Road to 700. And yep, you guessed it, Albert Pujols. Now, I'm just going to let you know up front, if you don't know who Albert Pujols is, you've probably been living under a rock. If you don't like or have respect for Albert Pujols, you have deeper problems in your life. So, without further ado, I hope you can put those things aside and let's get started. So, this is going to be an absolutely candid, somewhat short and sweet analysis, if you will, of my verbal opinion on Albert Pujols. So, like I said, most people know who he is, a St. Louis Cardinal legend. So, just briefly, I'm going to literally go on over here to Baseball Reference, and these stats are per Baseball Reference. And as we all know, Albert Pujols probably has one of the most impressive resumes in all of baseball. Here's a little bit of background if you don't know who he is, and if you don't, I'm sorry. So, underneath positions, we see, obviously, primary is first baseman. For this season, he's been somewhat more of a designated hitter. He's listed also as a left fielder and a third baseman. Bats right, throws right. He's 6'3", 235 pounds. And if you wanted to do centimeters, 190. And the team, St. Louis Cardinals, current team, obviously played previously for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and you know what? That's all the past, and I don't fault him for that. So let's move on. Here briefly, you can see an overview: 3-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 11-time All-Star. Now, he doesn't have the most gaudy or overly productive numbers that are going to jump off of the page at you for this season, but he's gotten those hits and home runs in bunches, and when they count. So this year, 1.2 WAR, 210 at-bats, 58 hits, 14 homers, and a 276 batting average. I think that in itself is pretty impressive. But to follow the theme of this podcast, Road to 700, Albert Pujols, as of August 25th, 2022, is only 7 home runs away from 700 with a little over a month to play. So his odds of getting to that point are pretty great at this point. If he does, I can't even put into words what I'm going to feel. So for Albert Pujols' career overall, he has a WAR over 100. He has taken 11,324 at-bats, and he's recorded a little over 3,300 hits. Of course, like I said earlier, the 693 career home runs, and his career batting average is 297. Unbelievable. So let's kind of round this out by talking about the overall impression of Albert Pujols for this season. And let's just say that at this point, every time that he, steps into the batter's box, it's must-see TV. I'm, if I can, reverting my attention to the screen. In fact, a few coworkers of mine and myself have been talking recently about how if we could attend every remaining home game, we would. I think it's to the point now where when Pujols steps up, Dan McLaughlin is anticipating some sense of magic or high energy, and for good reason. My 11-month-old child is now programmed to clap after a Pujols home run. In fact, the other night, and I have it on video, I said, "Baylor, clap for Pujols," and this kid literally did. My wife loves and appreciates him. My family does. I mean, there's just been a great deep history, and just an exceedingly great baseball player in the form of Albert Pujols. So, and I think the big thing is with this year, it's obviously, and he's made it known that he will retire regardless. It's his last season. So, baseball people from one end of the country to the other, all around the globe, should and can appreciate the resume the commitment and the talent of Albert Pujols. And as a 23-year-old, and I get it, there are some individuals listening right now that you've watched so many more at bats of his, but Albert Pujols has just been one of the best, if not the best, and I have to be careful saying that, players in MLB history. So just a little background, I actually started watching St. Louis Cardinals baseball in 2010. I watched it the season before they won the World Series, but even then, I can remember Albert Pujols. The multi-homer night in Texas, and it was just impressive to see this guy around the bases and just keep hammering balls out of the yard. So I firmly believe that he was a big part of, in the background, and a worker within the organization when I first started my fandom. So, he's always been there. Now, when he did depart, I do remember feeling heartbroken, but that was repaired after time obviously healed itself, and he came back this year. And it's just absolutely amazing, unbelievable. As the great Danny Mac has said this year, it's unbelievable. So down the stretch, as we end the home stretch of the road to 700, I just want to say that I wish Albert Pujols nothing but the best. In his personal life, he's been through a lot. I can think of recently when he gave the young fan that jersey. It just speaks on and off the field the type of player that he is. So this is going to be fun. Let's do this. Shout out to Dan McLaughlin and the whole broadcasting crew of Valley Sports Midwest. They have really done a great job of capturing these moments and retaining that momentum. Shout out to Jim Hayes, the whole crew, Brad Thompson. You guys have been phenomenal in the press box as well. Lots of good humor, and I always love that good humor. So thanks for tuning in. I don't know how periodically these will occur, but hopefully I said something that made a little bit of sense. So go Cardinals, and maybe this is the road, and Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols and potentially Adam Wainwright's last year. Maybe this is the road to our 12th World Series victory.